Aloha, Nitinandam. So, this video is going to be pretty controversial. I got up and shown to just go ahead and do it because that's what this is going to be about. I'm going to be making many more videos talking about a lot of controversial things. And let's just put it this way. I don't have any attachment to anything. Welcome to my Loka, Love with Gratitude Loka. Yeah, love everybody with gratitude. No matter what part you have in my life story. Very grateful to everyone, every experience. And because of what I'm doing is gonna probably require, and I don't care, and I'm ready for it, right? Public laundry washing. We're gonna do this on every level, on everything, just so that we can have everything in the now. Because I don't care, right? Literally, there really isn't very much that I care about. I only care about righteousness, authentic integrity, and we're going to scrub this clean till it whistles on its own, right? So, maybe video one, maybe I'll call it video one of many, to share a perspective that I'm seeing because doing that research, right? What I call the play-by-play, year by year, mana'o by mana'o, right? To really look at what it is that we are dealing with. And it's just one place and space perspective that inclusive of all the other places, right, that are occupied. Hawaii being the longest occupation, 134 years. So, anyway, let's get into some interesting conversations. So, we're going to start, I'm starting with, and being shown to start with today, right now, is that Hawaii Kingdom had embassies around the world, right? How did they have that? Well, why don't we take a look at Kamehameha I's connection with the British Empire, who he joined their army for their gunpowder knowledge, which means he is not the king of Hawaii, right? That's a treason. You go join some other country to go destroy your brothers and sisters. That's kind of like breach of trust, right? Extreme breaches of trust. So we could start there, okay? So he's not the king of Hawaii, and he did not unite the Hawaiian Islands. The Hawaiian Islands were, well, if you go pre-Pa'au, where every family was self-governed sovereigns, and everyone was born power manifestors. That's pre-Pa'au, so I'm not going to go there, but Kamehameha joined the British Army, and I believe the narrative that, because based off of their constructs that existed since 1066, using the same kind of stuff. That's why we see all of these false flags and this and that all over again, because it's the same mental setup that is repeating those patterns. It's a pattern repetition, right? So we go mark that. That's those people's vibrational signature, storyline signatures, right? We go look at that. But Hawaii Kingdom was united as a people because they settled their differences, and they're this is my space, that's your space, right? Divided by akupua'as or whatever. Anyway, that's going off the reason why I'm trying to make this video. So they had 90 embassies, apparently, or many embassies around the world. Why? So because they engaged with the British, right, using their constructs. So the Mahele maps mirrors Domesday maps, right, that I'm pretty sure got submitted to them because they're part of their empire, which is reflecting in the flag that they have, from my perspective. Okay, so they had all these embassies, and why? For commerce, contracted commerce. So the different kings, emperors, or whatever had a contract with Hawaiian Kingdom royal families to do sugarcane at that time, to import all these people, right? For contract. Is that really Mano says hi. Hi. Yeah. Yes, you're so handsome. Is that more, that's more like a perception of choice. I mean, if you have, because prior to the UN, there was League of Nations. Before the League of Nations was Union of Crowns. So if you have a whole globe of specific families entering into contracts for extracting human resource, labor, energy, all of those things for an ideal, right? Yeah, I know. We got to talk about this. Just things to talk about, because what am I advocating for? Individual, ecclesiastical, state, self-governed sovereignty, families governing themselves with full upfront disclosure. If those are not done, it's enslavement, right? That's where contracts come null and void, because there's not full disclosure. So, and then can you say that Hawaii never had slavery? Now listen, this is a perspective that after all of my research and looking at and being shown, that's a possibility. So if you're a jigaboo, right, you get one over here, one over there, right? Contracts to bring people to your home to do the labor, right? Without full disclosure, right? And then how did they maintain those enslavement constructs? They made sure that it was divided or separated by language, right? And then, of course, they have those picture brides to enforce and ensure. And then to keep that structure, they have all of these imposed ideas of honor, of whatever, right? When there's no flowering of individual consciousnesses to be empowered to be able to make their own decisions, right? You put them, and then because that cage is not a cage, it's psychological, very few people will bust through every layer of that. Very few. And I know because of my no box liberated thinking, comes with a price, right? Especially those who are trying to maintain a box. And then I'm over here saying mothers to initiate through umbilical cord initiation, and that is still get a helmet, right? I need a helmet. I'm still deciding what kind of helmet I'm going to be putting on. What is the kind of helmet I need for that one? Right? Anyway, so you have all of these countries getting shipped to Hawaii for Hawaii Kingdom to do this work, And then they had their own separate camps by country to ensure those constructs are maintained, right? The slave drivers who make sure the work gets done, or whatever, all of that. I did hear stories from my grandpa. But yeah. And I'm sure there's still stories out there, which I'm going to find out, right? We're going to have some interviews to find out these stories, right? Of abuse, and of course the mental, psychological, emotional, sexual, you name it, all of that, right? To maintain those enslavement structures. They're not compassionate at all, right? There's no compassion in that. With the setup of perceived consent. Right? So, with all of that, and each country was put in a hierarchy of value, right? And in that values, they're not stupid. Come on, right? Why did all of these countries not come and help and support? Well, maybe they were knowing of this atrocity of their value, right? So they never came to help Hawaii, right? Apparently, maybe Japan did, but they turned around. Right now, Japan is the one that is maintaining those enslavement constructs of Hawaii Kingdom. Because why? They're the lapdog of the U.S. because they lost World War II and got bombed. Now, I don't know what kind of posturing or what kind of whatever, but stepping back from the whole thing and looking at it, kind of looks like that, right? So, that's like a really real possibility. Why the world did not come to help Hawaii Kingdom. Something to contemplate, think about. We should have those kind of discussions and ongoing. You want to say hello again, Mano? You want to say? Yeah? Okay. Yeah? Okay. You want to be a potato. All right. So, yeah, something to think about. And I'm going to be doing a lot more research into that. Now, I did my researches all the way to the British Archives to really take a look at the year-by-year, play-by-play, mana'o by mana'o perspectives, right? But you can't even stop there. You got to go all the way back to 1066 and before. So any of these conversations, because it's still maintaining those constructs of that, right? With the perception of contracts, UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. That's why I'm saying the stuff I'm saying. But it is what it is, right? I'm only doing what I'm being shown to do, so that's what's being done today. When I get the proper setup, hopefully soon, be going into it, right? Piece by piece. But, yeah, something to consider, everybody. Why there was no help and support, because they was jigabooing, right? Now you can say that was the bad side of the family or whatever you want to say, but it's all connected to the British construct, right, that they signed up for. So those are contracts and constructs that if you're not part of the royal family, none of your fucking business, right? So those that's what it is. And the way that they do things, try to maintain those hierarchical constructs with self-righteous justifications, right? With all these layers. That's why, like what I'm saying, when mothers initiate through umbilical cord initiation, it's at source as it happens right there in the now of the cosmic expansion, not when some royal family decides, or kahuna or guru decides that you can get blessed with the highest spiritual boon. Come on. They can do the next layer of, if that being wants to go and master that, right? Get in line. It's all connected. All of this is all connected. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I'm talking even at Mahabharata, right? Even Krishna. I love Krishna. Trust me. Trust me. I love Krishna, right? He blessing me, just like the mother. Get Krishna over here, right? Asking Krishna all kind of questions. Bless him, right? He blesses me, bless him, but I am addressing a very sensitive issue that everyone's not even considering, because yeah, that's all cool, right? He was handling all these countries with atomic weapons. I'm in the middle of Hawaii. You got RIMPAC, right? Hello. And being like, Brother Man Krishna, that's cool and all that you saved 16,000 gopikas or whatever from demon being used as prostitutes or whatever that narrative is. But I'm like, brother man, you didn't suffer enough to be like, no, we're gonna liberate all women. So that's my job. The downloads I getting and shown to do, apparently that's my job. To be like, no, we're gonna take this evolutionary quantum leap. You guys ready? I don't know. Whatever going to happen. And it's happening. So yeah, because what? Krishna and Rama went to Gurukul. That's why I keep being at Swamiji. Hello? You saying you the guru? I pointing at this, and then he's just like, bruh, you don't want saying that. If you're not saying that, I wouldn't be knocking at your fucking door, okay? Right? Because what are you perpetuating? I don't know. I'm just being shown this, and if we can't have a we in dialogue and full disclosure, right? Be like, bruh, I'm okay with all of that. All right. Then you can't have a forked tongue or two-face, right? Or, yeah, I mean, come on, just be straight and be like, no, we're okay with this, and you can go do that over there, and I'm left with that, right? And finally now, some things are opening up to move in that direction. I don't know. That's what's coming out, and I just gonna be raw and leave it as it is. But yeah, that could be why I'm here to clean all of this up, because this, right? And every level, cleaning it up. Let's get real fast, right? That's why with really bad atrocities, right? Some people just choose not to associate, talk, or whatever with others. Yeah. So, yeah, here we go. Aloha.